Hello guys, it's today. Well, it was today. It's not today, it was already today. The FOMC meeting just happened this morning at 6 a.m. In Australia time. And I was right, Euro-dollar fall, and it was a big fall in a couple hours. You know, as soon as the Fed released the actual decision, that nothing happened much. But soon as Jerome Powell started to speak, you know, the market went chaotic, went crazy. US dollar has been one of the strongest performer at the day. So today, US dollar has been the strongest performer with the DXY trading at 108. I've told you, everyone, I've told. Anyways, so what happened with the FOMC meeting? I have some takes here that I want to share with everyone. But before we go any further, remember, we didn't have a meeting yesterday, we didn't have the webinar yesterday, but we're gonna have a webinar today from 5 to 6 p.m. So make sure to be in the Telegram group, because this is where I send the link every single time on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So you don't miss, you know, because sometimes people are having hard times trying to actually go to the website and register themselves. So be in the Telegram. They are send it in there, and it's easier for you to just click on the link and join us on the Telegram. The link to join the Telegram is on the description. All right, thumbs up on this video, subscribe to the channel, and now let's get to the point. So FOMC meeting, you know, they first start saying that the economy continues to expand at a solid pace. Yes, that's true. The data that are coming from USA, like the GDP, PMI, CPI, labor, you know, it is somewhat okay. It's not the best, but it's okay for the situation of the economy. Unemployment has moved up, but remains low at some point, in some instance. I don't compactuate, if I can say that word. I don't believe that is the low, because 4.2% is still pretty high. But you know, in the predictions of the Fed, yes, it is somewhat into low pace. Inflation moved towards the committed 2% target, but remains elevated. That's 100% true. Inflation has come down, sustainable for the last 2 years, but is still far from to be under control. Is too far to be actually on to the point of 2%. Okay, now they've reduced 25 base points on the rates, but what Jerome Powell said is pretty interesting. They've been more cautious about the monetary policy, and that today was a close call. Okay, today was a close call. And that was pretty what caught my attention, because if it was a close call, 95% of the market was actually expecting it to be a 25 base points cut. But what actually happened was that the Fed actually didn't thought about cutting. So I don't know how many votes they had to cut and pause again. But as Jerome Powell said, it was pretty close call. So that is really interesting. The Fed has some sense of hawkishness still, okay? Because they know that the inflation is coming slowly but surely down. And they know as well that unemployment rate has been a tick up, and that the whole economy continues to expand at a very solid pace on the GDP. So that was a close call for Jerome Powell. That's what he said. Now, for 2025, the prediction of the committee, everyone assessed it separately. So all the 7 chairs assess it separately from each other, and they come up with what they think would be justifiable, or like you know, a good amount, a good point to be the rates until 2025 and 2026. So 2025, the committee seeks 3.9%, and 2026, committee seeks 3.4%. So this is higher than the September, and it's basically 50 basis points cut from next year to 2026, okay? So we still have to do some cuts, and that makes all sense. If the Fed is a little bit more cautious now about actually the monetary policy, then they're not going to be looking to cut every meeting after meeting. So next year we may have a very strong US dollar, okay? Now, The next thing is that the strength on the labor market plus inflation is what the Fed is looking to take decisions from now on. So they're still with the dual mandate. It's very important that we pay attention on those two data, the inflation and the stabilize on the labor market. Okay, now how can you trade that? This is the big question that I will be answering tonight on the webinar. So if you're not yet into the Telegram group, make sure to be there at 5 p.m. right on time. I will send the link and we can trade those things, those data together. Guys, thank you so much. I hope everyone have a beautiful day and I see you tonight on the webinar. See you guys. Bye bye.